Good afternoon. I wanted to give you guys my Friday night SmackDown from last week, which was 4/12/2024. Also give you a brief preview on what's going to be happening tonight. A lot of action happened last week. A lot of action happened throughout the WWE universe as well as AEW. One of the things I have a challenge with is trying to get all this content to you because there's so much wrestling content, and then sometimes I just want to give you guys. I don't want to do anyone a disservice by not maybe giving a good analysis. So sometimes it may delay me if I can't give a good assessment on what I see each night. Then I'm not going to give you anything. With that said, I know Raw is coming out tonight. There was plenty that happened on SmackDown that is going to have a lot of questions for tonight. So I do appreciate that transition. I'm going to say that off the top. First thing that we saw last week was our undisputed WWE champion. I think it was the undisputed Universal champion, but I think they're changing that. It's going to be an undisputed WWE champion, and that is Cody Rhodes, our champion. He's everybody's champion, and I will also throw out on a limb and say he is the people's champion. With that said, Cody came out, did his thing, he shined as always, and he always, one of the things I love about Cody Rhodes promos is that he doesn't always try to elevate himself. The one thing that elevates Cody Rhodes, in my opinion, is the way he loves to elevate others. He elevated everybody in this. Looks like they were going to have a six-pack type of scramble. They were going to have two matches. Both of them are going to be triple threat matches. The first of which wound up being AJ Styles. Actually, it's going to be LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, and Santos Escobar. That match was pretty good. Actually pretty good, and I love Santos Escobar. I love him and Legato's Fantasma. I appreciate those guys because I don't know, it's just something about Santos. He don't speak, well, he does, his English is better. I mean, he does, I think his little crew is a nice little crew of guys, and they're very athletic. Like I said, they bring a lot to the table. I'm trying to think. Los Lotharios is a tag team, and with that said, the LA Knight, Santos Escobar, and Bobby Lashley match was pretty action-packed, pretty much what I expected it to be, and I also expected LA Knight to win, which he did. He took advantage of some outside interference from Legato's Fantasma, and I need to get that right and say that the right way. And Legado Fantasma came in and interfered on the match, and then Street Profits came in, so everything kind of broke down, and LA Knight was able to take advantage of that at that breakdown. One of the things I noticed there too, looks like they're planting the seeds for a Bobby Lashley feud with Santos Escobar. I think they need to try to get some kind of trios championships eventually within WWE, because you do have these factions that are three men. It looks like his three-man teams are starting to kind of pile up. I can't see how they're not going to have some kind of trios type championship, because there's a number of trios that's out there still. I mean, I could start naming names. Bloodline, Bobby Lashley's little clique with Street Profits, Fantasma del Ligo, LWO. Just a few other ones. I think Alpha Academy is going to wind up being something. That's just my little 2 cents on that. I think they need to have a trios championship, and I think eventually that will happen. So I also see, like I said, Bobby Lashley and Santos Escobar having some kind of feud. If you had to give me an early prediction on what I think is going to happen with that, I can see Bobby Lashley, because he's such a good worker. He's still going to always be Bobby Lashley, but I can see him putting Santos Escobar over. And that would be a significant thing for Santos Escobar. He has probably the most to gain from that feud, but also Bobby Lashley would have a tremendous amount to lose. Bobby Lashley is one of our stronger champions, but he is getting up in age, and they do need to probably start getting somebody that's going to carry the mantle for his particular segment and what he's being used for. I think Montez Ford could also fill that void. And D'Angelo Dawkins, the tag team partner of Montez Ford, is growing. He's getting stronger. His athleticism is starting to show a little bit more. You can tell he's definitely working hard, starting to try to get more fluid with his movement. and I can see him being like one of those dark horse type of guys that comes up and winds up making a tremendous name for himself in his business. The next thing that we happened, the next segment that we saw was the Bloodline came out and they did a promo, and it looked like they were trying to like big up Roman Reigns again, and man, there was a big change. It looks like Jimmy got kicked out of Bloodline. That also could be a work. I'm still not all the way convinced, but it was a pretty devastating beatdown. And after I've given it much consideration, Jimmy is out, and that's planting the seeds for some kind of dissension amongst the Bloodline. They're talking about tribal chiefs and bloodlines and all this stuff, but the real tribal chief is not there. So who was calling the shots? Was it Solo, or was it The Rock? People want to know now. People are trying to say, hey, the tribal chief gave those orders, and we also saw the premiere of one of the new Bloodline members, and that's Tama Tonga. That's the cousin, and I think his dad is Haku, which is cool. Like I said, the brother came in there, he gave plenty of intensity, and of course he did jump Jimmy from behind. It wasn't no straight up stuff, and it was dirty. And then of course Solo stopped Paul Heyman from calling on the tribal chief. He was trying to say dial Roman Reigns, and so all the seeds are there to basically just try to say that Roman Reigns is no longer the head of the Bloodline. Who is? So now the next question is going to be who's going to be added to this storyline, because I can also see other people being added to this, and it's definitely going to be the main reason why people are going to tune in to SmackDown tonight. Definitely myself. I'm one of those people. So after that beatdown, we saw another beatdown, and that was Braun Breaker over Cameron Grimes. Only thing I know about Cameron Grimes is he's I ain't gonna call him a jobber, but he's a young man that just came up through NXT, had a pretty decent little run there. But of course, Braun Breaker is the breakout star of SmackDown. He's gonna be the breakout star of 2024. And like I said last week, I actually put a TikTok out there in the middle of the show. I said, hey, Braun Breaker is gonna be the next United States champion. And I truly believe that. I'm gonna stand 10 toes on that until, of course, it don't happen. And I can see that happening at probably SummerSlam. The way the Maverick is running and hiding and ducking competition. He's taking on competition, but of course they're gonna try to elevate him. They put him in the ring with some legends. He overcame those legends. However, Braun Breaker's a different breed, and he's letting you know right now he's gonna be that new version of the dog-faced gremlin, which is his pops. And his uncle, the Steiner brothers. So you see a new version of that. The athleticism was there, the dominance was there, and obviously got that charisma. And I think he's a freakish athlete, and he's only going to get better. With that said, the next thing we saw was the introduction of the new WWE Women's Champion, Bayley. She came out to a tremendous amount of applause. She gave a great showing at WrestleMania. Her and Io Sky. I ain't gonna say they tore the house down, but I'm gonna say they tore the house down to a certain degree. They did have some "This is awesome" champs during that match because it was awesome. Bayley did an outstanding job of not only overcoming, but also elevating Io. Io did a great job at WrestleMania, but now we need to move on to some different challengers. Plus, we need to find out what's going on with Damage Control because we haven't seen them. We don't know where they at. And we don't know what's going to be up with those guys. But I will be talking about what I think is going to happen in the women's tag team picture in just a few minutes. With that said, after Bayley came out, she wanted to give a championship opportunity to Naomi. Naomi, why Naomi out of all the people? I think Naomi's got something up her sleeve. I wouldn't be surprised if Nia Jax comes out and attacks her during this the championship match that's going to happen tonight. That's my prediction. I kind of need to start doing my review shows and my preview shows as separate. But yeah, that's going to be the thing I think is going to happen tonight. Or at some point, they're probably going to have a good match. But I can see Naomi getting frustrated with Bayley. Bayley's coming up with a new level of athleticism, or Bayley's going to get the clean win. I just don't see people who have high standards for themselves continue to allow themselves to be handled and played. Just like The Rock, I got a whole nother thing. I'm gonna have to do a whole segment on that. I'm gonna have to talk about the new bloodline because I did make some valid points and I want to get that out there. Getting back to where I'm supposed to be with this match, Tiffany Stratton comes out and she tried to handle my girl Naomi. She did her dirty and try to push her down. Now I'm gonna tell you, Tiffany Stratton, keeping it real, keeping it gutter. She had the athleticism. She got that look that maybe be a more of a mainstream. I'm not saying somebody is above or below, but I will say Naomi has the veteran savvy. Tiffany is a little bit younger. You can tell she got that little younger energy. So of course they're trying to make investments in younger stars. That's what they do. Just like they did Rhea Ripley, they built her up. She's a good champion and whatnot, and you can probably see a little bit of what they want to build up in Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton does have some athleticism, and she does move around the ring pretty good. I like some of her movesets. So I can't hate on Tiffany Stratton. She's a heel, and she get on my nerves, and she's doing her job really well. I don't like her, but I can see her growing on me over time because I can see where she does have some skills there. With that said, Naomi beat her with an old roll up. I didn't like how that match ended, but it also kind of kept Tiffany looking a little bit strong. But also Naomi got the win, got the dub, and that qualifies her to move on to this championship match this week that's going to be coming up. Next after that, we had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill came in with the matching thing. I feel like they need to find a name for that tag team. I'm not sure what that's going to be. But I've been saying Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are going to be a dominant tag team force. I can actually see them being a heel force because Jade Cargill had been a heel the whole time. With that said, I can also see Bianca going heel. And I think I would like it that way because they don't have to kiss up to the fans, and they could be as dominant as they want to be. They got the physicality down. They just gotta, just be able to deliver some beatdowns that's gonna really upset people. And right now the fans love them. Jade Cargill is Jade Cargill. I mean, she's over just off of her athleticism and her physicality. She just got to build that up a little bit more. Those guys need to get some more mic skills together. And I think once they get that confidence with that mic skill, they can build off each other. And I can see them being a dominant force. Again, there's going to be the mic skills. There's going to be, they got so much natural charisma, they don't have to say a whole lot. And so that's the main thing with those guys. Yeah, and they dominated Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Now I'm gonna tell you, I like Piper Niven. I think for she's kind of like a super heavyweight, but she has a great deal of athleticism. She reminds me of like Ivar with her agility and her ability to move around. I don't like her in team. I really don't like her with nobody team. But at the same time, she deserves a push. She's never probably gonna get that actual push that she really truly deserves because I think she's a really skilled competitor. She just got to get that build up. I don't know if it's her turning into a dominant heel. Maybe her and Nia Jax or something might be a team. But I see Nia Jax and Naomi coming together, and that's going to be probably the antagonist to Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I can see that feud coming off. Who's going to be the face? Who's going to be the heel in that? I'm not sure. Later on, the last thing that happened, or the main event of the night wound up being AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio. Those guys put on a show. I think they did a great job. I'm tell you, I like this heel version of AJ Styles. It looked like AJ Styles been pumping that iron. Looked like he's trying to recover from some injuries, and I think he deserves better. I think AJ Styles has been one of those guys who was carrying the SmackDown brand for quite some time. He was the guy that called SmackDown the house that AJ Styles built. And I still, to this day, believe that. And I also believe that everybody is on this whole LA Knight thing. I don't even like LA Knight like that. He's cool. He's over. He's a megastar. And I give him all his props. His athleticism is unmatched at this point. He got the skill on the mic. He got everything. However, AJ Styles had been AJ Styles. AJ Styles was him. Before everybody else that you see, all these high flyers, before you had Seth Rollins, you had AJ Styles. So y'all need to stop messing with that boy name. And when that was before, that was Cody Rhodes. That was AJ Styles. With that said, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes to me will make a much better match. I hope the build-up is what it needs to be, and I hope AJ Styles let him know I'm coming for you. You know, so I'm looking forward to hopefully, you know, AJ Styles winning and coming at Cody Rhodes with some physicality and let him know, man, I ain't come here to play with you. I ain't come up here to fill no dance card. I come up in here to win. And that's what I'm looking for from AJ Styles. I'm hoping that he does that. Now, with that said, going back to the actual match, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio, man, it was a good action-packed match. And I love the fact that AJ Styles was able to capitalize on some chaos. And he did an outstanding move. He did that, man, what was that match? It was the cannonball that came out of that. And then, you know, AJ Styles did his, man, I hate when I get these brain farts when I want to talk about my finish. AJ Styles did his finish, and I'm like I hate when I do that, man. He did the cannonball and then the Styles clash. That's what I'm trying to look for my notes. The Style clash off the top rope on top of Kevin Owens. Cold-blooded. Did him dirty. And, you know, like I said, I felt like Kevin Owens at some point in time is going to get elevated. I know he's getting tired, and I don't like how they're doing Kevin Owens. I think he deserves better. Hopefully he gets his shot at the championship and also find some kind of way to elevate him in this story. Or his homeboy, Sami Zayn, is going to be in some trouble. So that could be another piece of the puzzle. But basically, we got some other things coming up. Like I said, SmackDown looks like it's going to be good. It's going to be fire. And I want to see what Solo and them are going to do. I'm going to see what's going to happen with the Bloodline. And I want to see what's happening with Cody. I can see the Bloodline, this new Bloodline, having their sights set on Cody Rhodes, like making his life miserable, softening him up for whoever the new tribal chief may be, which might be The Rock. And The Rock is, you know, he's been on social media talking his noise, talking about he's going to make it bleed. I'm going to make it bleed. So, you know, the final boss, you know, that was like the number one heel, like I think right now. And I also think I might have did me some power rankings. If I didn't, I'm going to start giving you y'all guys my power rankings so we can start having discussions about the power rankings. Right now, power rankings, I'm going to do number one. Number one is the champ, you know, Cody Rhodes. Number two is going to be the tribal chief. And number three, I'm going to say, is The Rock. If I'm going to do a top four, I'm going to do a top four. Seth Rollins and then LA Knight. That's it right now for me. That's going to be subject to change, but that's the top five right now. And then I'll also give you top five women, top five tag teams, and things like that. I will be coming with my Royal Report pretty soon. And man, just subscribe to the channel just so you can stay updated on new content as I give you guys updates and also give you guys my opinions. I have made, if you look at some of my old videos, I made some calls on some things that should have been happening at WrestleMania. I was on point. I did make that call about Damian Priest cashing in. I hit the nail on the head with that. So just look at my videos, start seeing how I like to watch this wrestling. I like to make predictions, and I like to have the discussion about it. What's going to happen next? This is the Wrestling Report, and let me know how you like it. Peace.